the moment you're confident enough to take the piss by putting yourself as the context of the main topic of the conversation,
Love it.
you can say anything.
I found a statement on your web, and you stated, stand-up means I am able to say things that people think and feel,
The truth, and I'll never change that quote.
but do not have liberty
Exactly.
of expressing. What do you
It's
mean by
the
that? Who are you speaking for in this
I
statement?
speak on behalf of, literally, and this I had said it, I think, I'm not sure, after my second special life. When I, most, let's say 90% of my material is usually built from, like I mentioned, everyday circumstances, certainly. So the difference is why am I always okay with the political side of things and I never take a side and no one knows what side, if I am on a side at all, but no one knows. People take guesses. Oh, I'm like, why? Why would you think that? Why? Because I just spoke what you're thinking as well, but because you're like a blinded horse, you can't say it. So my comedy is based on the fact that I know, the example I can give you to answer that perfectly is one of my stand-ups I joked about when we come quickly.
Okay.
We can't speak
Of
about
course.
that. It's actually,
It's-
when we come, it's like way quicker than we expected. Like you've been waiting and saying, and you watch too much porn, so you think you're ready for it, and you think you can go for an hour, and then dawra tarloċ. You're like, what the? So when I'll be with friends, and that's when I started understanding, okay, you think it as well, but you don't say it. Because when we're alone, you said it. So it started with be with just the boys. Boys, you know, by the way, my friends. You're like, what the? So when I'll be with friends, and that's when I started understanding, okay, you think it as well, but you don't say it. Because when we're alone, you said it. So it started with be with just the boys. Boys, you know, by the way, my friends. What? For what did you just say? 4 hours? 4 hours having sex? No, I choose not to. When we're alone, it's like, I'm alive. Then we're with the other people or the women, I say, like you just told me, man. That's last week. It came in 2 minutes.
You say it in front of them?
Of course I do, but I said in front of the stage. I say it with so much openness, if that's a word at all, because I know I'm not the only one. So hence, that stand-up gives me the opportunity. And I have this thing that thankfully I've taught to my kids a lot, I hope, that the moment you're confident enough to take the piss by putting yourself as the context of the main topic of the conversation,
Love it.
you can say anything. And any top stand-up comedy will tell you that's pure comedy. You know, Louis C.K. talks about the whole sex scandal he had, and he opened up the special of 2 years ago with that, saying, shall we talk about? And he just spoke about, but then he spoke about everyone has their own inhibitions and all these sexual fetishes, etc. The only difference is he got caught. He was reported, which by the way, it was a case blown out of proportion. But everyone has, you have, look, 100%. You might have these weird, I don't know, man. I don't know what you have on your tablet, but you do. It could not be as sexual. It could be an anime. I don't know, man. But whatever. Look, don't get me wrong. But you know what I'm trying to get to. So I'm okay to say it because nearly, let's not say everyone. Everyone has their hidden naughty things of what they can. Champion, a very, very dear friend, Peter Crichton, and he just said, literally, he said, Miguel died. That's what. Friendship is a lot to me. Yeah. A lot. Friendship is a lot. That's why it kills me when I see friends, you know, through business things or whatever the fucking reason would be. I would never let anything come in between a proper friendship. Anything. I mean, unless sorry, just in case anyone's one, they might be, no, just accept that's we drew a line, no, like, but still I'd ask why. No, look, there is a place that's strange. It's not a room per se. It's a moment in my mind, and it's mainly a song, so it's not a moment per se.
Interesting, right.
Where immediately takes me to Miguel, one of my best friends who had passed away in 2005.
What happened there, if you may?
Overdose. So it's a place where he remained so close to me at heart because we were so close, and I knew up until his last days, whatever, that with me he was the most comfortable. But I know it factually. It's not like I say it because it's comfort to me. So there's no guilt of Hafnan, he said, I would have tried. I was there. I was always there for him in his darker. It's just, we're talking about 20 plus years after, and just talking about it still gets you. So that would be a spot where it doesn't cure.
What's the song, if I may ask?
It's of Wild Horses of Rolling Stones.
And why?
Because we used to listen to it on the jukebox while smoking.
What was the experience like? I want to go a bit more deeper into it because I see that there's a good connection between.
There's a very good connection. The experience of, I can't say helpless either because you gave your help. So he was a beautiful person, just a beautiful man. But he was troubled in his own, for whatever reason. I won't go into detail because it's a personal thing. So, in the sense from there, and he was also a martyr character, so that never helps. And I believe anyone that seeks drugs due to a martyr approach, feel, emotion, is where trouble comes in. So I'm no angel, but it was always from fun. I know others who have fun, and that word fun is pivotal in the balance of life. Fun. When it becomes an escape and to drown certain things, and then you start digging. So what it means, as I said, I can't say helpless because I did my part, and it was a place where it was a good bond. Mostly it hits home because one, his mother adores me, so that his brother. I think mostly because he used to feel so comfortable with me, and told, if you met يكون مش في ثقته بيش تفهمني.
What happened on the day you realized?
On the day, it was bearing in mind when you play with fire, and someone is playing with fire. You know somehow that at some point you might get burnt. You don't want it to happen, obviously, and you hope there's a fire extinguisher beside the person when it happens. But I was driving. I remember exactly where the petrol station of Kappara coming down. Oh, Chempili, a very, very dear friend, Peter Critin. And it was so, we were all close to him, and a good clicker. And he just said, Miguel died. That's what he said. And I just I remember I put it to the side, threw the phone on the side, took a few breaths like this, and then it takes long to, and bearing in mind, you're a kid at 24, 25, you shouldn't be experiencing these things. It's like when a parent, loses such, these are things that they shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? It's like, it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be part of the walk of life. It should be 80 years old and I died out of natural causes. No. You know what I mean? Or, hey, ħatajli illness, memx tamel, but things that... So, then I drove west, my office. Our office was still back then when I was with the family business in Gżira, in Nazzjoni Street. And I just walked in. I remember those my two brothers, who we were close with, and they knew him so well. And I remember I just walked in and I just burst out and I said, Miguel died, and they couldn't believe. That was that's pretty much it. Then I remember a few other things, like the mother calling me up. That was,
Tough moments that shape your life and make you
think differently. I can tell you something really, really, really sweet though. And I'll try my best to stay composed. I'm okay not to. Because I have a very, very, very strong bond with my kids. I'm not going to try and say, it's better than... What I feel is incomparable to any other parent who has I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe my wife can. I don't know. But it's a certain bond that I've built in terms of friendship, trust, understanding, listening, talking, joking, talk it out, these kind of things. Anyway, Kate, my eldest, knows Miguel. You know what I mean? He's been dead since 2005. Kate was born 2012. But she knows him because I speak about him so much in such depth and detail of certain moments that, she knows him. I mean, there's a photo, so she has a fake face to it. And I think the fact that, for example, knowing that every April 29th, she knows this is the anniversary, and I put up something on Facebook, which is a standard thing I do. And I'll be home and she'll notice. She'll notice straight away. You think of Miguel? You think of me? So that's very nice because she knows someone that's been passed for 20 plus years. Never met, but feels him through me. And I believe because I'm a very strong believer in energy and that spirit that you can carry. And not through ħafna post people. All right, I told you I post once a year because it's relevant to keep his presence alive in that way, and it's, I feel I owe to his mother. But when it's with her, even like Jean knew him for 2 years. She liked him a lot. He was just such a cool kid. Yeah, that's nice. Kate, tell me more about Miguel. Tell me more stories about Miguel. Like that, that's real. And that, it's hard to get through without breaking down in front of her. But she sees it. She sees the friendship that there was. And he was a good guy. Yeah, I tried.
You were the 4th out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Mistake. Look, you can say it. I was the 4th. Mela, give me a second. Give me a second. Mela, what you had to say there was, so you were a mistake after 3. Okay, you were a mistake after 3. Then they waited 8 years to see if the 5. But after 3, they had me. After 8 years, they said this isn't working out either. Let's go again. And they had my younger sister. So that's how much of a failure it was to my show.
What do you believe you learned more than the first one learned with regards to life experience?
Lallo, how good. That's one of the most interesting questions I've ever been asked. And I've been asked about my firehold. I got, to be fair, I believe a bit of a supporting shoulder that they didn't have during certain difficult parts of growing up. So I think that was something I had that they didn't. On the other hand, it's more maybe what I didn't get, ironically, because what I did learn was, man, if I want to make myself bread, I need to make myself bread. I know it's a stupid example, but because, as you said, it was 4 until my younger sister came. But let's say she already came, because I was 8, she was born. So let's say my 8 to teens wise, when you see a mother give up, in a funny way I'm saying, not like generally give up. Like when she's like, dudes, what the fuck ever, man. When you see it, when you're older, it's like, oh man, like what the hell, man? Like, because you're spoiled, and that's right.
Exactly.
When you're the 4th one, you're like, but who's gonna make me? Who's gonna make my bread, man? Because why am I getting the flack? So what I learned big time, and I would say yes, that is the pure answer I can give because I led up to it. Is I would say I'm much more independent than them. Again, the independent terminology has quite a vast.
Can we change it into streetwise?
Streetwise, I'd say 100%. I'd say my old, yeah, I think so, yeah. Streetwise, yes. Because then, ironically, my younger sister got the total opposite because she came 8 years after and she was like under the wings of my mom and always like my precious of Lord of the Rings, like my precious. I'm like, I'm still here, man. I'm still here and I don't have my bread. Now she has her fucking bread. Where did I go in this? So there was, yeah, that was in the, like even there was, I learned and I would have, this I would have never changed. The inclusion thing. So I always needed Friends, Friends, the episodes, yeah. Friends. So there's this joke that I compare it like with Chandler. So my humor was built for being noticed, to be noticed. So exactly. Like, ha ha ha, let my brother say, join. Hey, I join. So that is the one thing that I got that they didn't need. Or so that not far from defense mechanism. This approach to inclusion of how to hang. For example, many years after, my brother's friends would ask him, "Hoog Jay?" for the young one. That's not very normal. That's not very common. You know what I mean? Like, it's all to Zaid. No. Me, it was like, Hoog Jay? Salum Giornata, there are some friends of theirs who I'm closer with than they are now. So, closer. You know what I mean?
In contact.
Yeah, so there is, I think the most thing I learned was genuinely, and I say it to joke, it sounds, but genuine survival kit. Like to say, okay, man, if in this fucking household I'm going to survive. In my last comedy, I used the joke of Braveheart that my mother came and said, fight and you may die. Run and you live, at least for a while. So there's that whole episode. So I've used it as because it's the truth. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, this fucking household is crazy. And I'm still young, so can I have some? So there was that part of even the school thing, like hating Zula and my mother's like, yeah, whatever, man. Just fucking go back to school. Just go. Just get it over and done with. Get the years gone. And because she already saw it through my other, you know what I mean? So
exactly, you get used to it.
That was the fun part of being the 4th. And obviously, I don't even think I took any negative from it, actually, the 4-1 side of things. Except, I don't think so.
You joke about a lot your first steps.
Yeah. Because it's the fucking... Well, I just boiled it down to you, basically.
Exactly, but an interesting question is this. It's funny, but is it sad?
It's not... First of all, I know what you mean. And yes, in reality, but I just don't like using that word because I think there are... I know I don't sound philosophical, but it's my approach to life. There are so many people way worse than I am. And way worse than you are. But way worse. So the moment that comes into my mind frame is that said, this is now Kevin speaking. Kevin now.
Exactly.
Kevin of growing up. It hit hardest the younger part, aging of the steps, in context of the steps I'm saying. I think the teens plus, then it started hitting a lot. Because you see, again, even if I'm writing let's call it my biography, but still works in progress. But there's a chapter I go, no regrets. It's called No Regrets, so post for now. So there is where I say, do I understand him now? I don't know what. You don't know what your father was going through. You know what I'm trying to say?
I get it.
He was this 40-year-old with 5 kids.
They never had the script. It's like their first time living too. All the daughter had a seizure. She was just 2 years old and you weren't home.
No, I wasn't home.
Give me the story around that.
I don't know, because again, you're hitting a topic, our subject, where it's not only towards my own child, to be fair, but because my love for the understanding of what children are meant to be and what they should not go through vis-a-vis the parents should not see. That's why I can't stand situations where parents are act towards kids or there are some things that you don't ever expect to go through, because you don't wake up and going, okay, so the first 9 months is always the challenge when you're pregnant. It's beautiful, but it's scary. Like, let everything be okay. You have the scares, the no kicking for 3 days. But that's, everyone goes through it, any pregnancy. Then when it's born, it's like, and you're responsible for the kid. If you leave it, it dies. There's no fucking rocket science. If you leave this baby dies. It's not like the animal kingdom where the gorilla goes, hoo-hoo, fucks off, and which they don't in reality anyway. That's the birds, actually. What happened was Kate had fever for a few days, and I was at the office, and and obviously if you're X amount of years with someone, just like there's a certain connection. So even the voice, before you say like, enough, because there's a cockroach, the tone, I will understand it without saying there's a cockroach. Okay, what's wrong? The moment she called and she spoke, before she said anything, but it rivetta carrozza. That's something that she's probably not even aware of. So the moment I went, Zeus. And I just said, I'm trying to remember what the first words were. I think it was like that. That's that. But I don't know what happened. Yeah, but the tree of it. And while I'm on the phone, and she told me, Kate, she didn't use the word seizure. Kate's eyes are rolling, Kate's frothing. Look, man, so there is that gap of between from the office till you get home. So the drive is, I don't know what I'm driving. I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know what I'm driving to. That's the bottom line. So you try not to, you try not to overthink it too much because you don't know what's. So you try. So I'm driving and I drove. I won't explain how I drove. So I got home and I ran up. And I found my wife with Kate, and I was like, okay. Okay. And she told me what happened. And she had a seizure, she fell back, and all that stuff. Just hearing it, I got, but she was okay then. So I'm hearing it while seeing my kid okay. So I say, let's go to hospital, just obviously. So we got up. She's at the back, and I'm driving to hospital. And I could tell, and she was starting to play up a bit again. So I'm driving. So we got to hospital. Full check-in, etc. And while we're there, and she was okay. She was like, Mom, she's totally okay-ish, my daughter, Kate. And I was told, I don't know how to, Jean was here and Kate was like on both of us sort of. And suddenly, Ostja, look, man. Why? Oh, no, all right, wait. I'll try and get, because, so you see this, so you see, got your kid there and, you see the whole, and it's happened in our arms again, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. So I believe, I know, right, it's nice to see people, first day, you have to learn these things. What the fuck do? You feel so helpless, and you feel so shitty because you can't do anything. And this kid is just going with this whole thing again. And all I could think of was, Jean just went through this at home. Now she's here again. I'm here and I can't do anything. So you just, and, the doctors, nurse, they were phenomenal. In the end, it was a seizure. It's not like, well, it's not great either. But then, ironically enough, from it all, from the whole, that part, the scary part, then that goes, because then they put, the whole thing, etc. The moment you see her going into the theater for the scan thing and etc., that does it for you. Because you see, you see a child with this whole fucking thing, and it doesn't look nice, man. And obviously, you can't do anything. So I'm just there with my wife, just holding hands, and you just see.
What was your thoughts during that? Just
I can't,
action.
That
action.
My thoughts too much for it. I don't. Not. I don't feel. I'm.
Just that moment where you saw the.
Me to my wife, she'll be okay. So that's what I said. Inside me, I might say something that's maybe not if my wife knows, but I said, if this doesn't work out, then I'm. You know what I mean? So, fuck you, Luke. All right. Anyway. Because this is thoughts that go to your mind, but you don't want to show it at the same time.
There was a part where you left.
No. I said if something happens, I'm done with this
but
shit.
there was a part where you left the room.
Yes, I just had to walk. I just had to give my. I don't want to show my wife for Allah, because I know there's this. I'm not going to say not stereotype typical, but no matter what, go back millions of years. The man is you try it, and she's fucking strong. My wife, as my kids are. So I was like, what the fuck, man? And I got up with the excuse of getting up for some air. And I just turned the corner and and then she came and found me. How the fuck do you know the site? So wait, because I'm just like, because what the fuck, man? It was just me and Jean there. And I don't think you called Jean for that. That's my anyway. So that was, I walked off. I don't know, even I forgot that part. But now I remembered. So I walked off because I didn't want to show it there. Because, man, in my head, no matter what, because, call it what you may, call it caring, call it loving, I already knew she went over this twice already. So imagine I break down. She'll be like, la, like, how am I going to, like, I need you right now. So, yeah, we asked about the whole stage being a different person. That was a moment where I had to change. I just walked across, behind the column.
Everything was okay right after?
That's the key, because it was high fever. No, everything. As it showed on the thing. It was a pure seizure due to high fever, and the body couldn't take it anymore.
Can I ask you a serious question, a really deep question?
A lot more than this, but anyway, yes.
Because you mentioned the very dark part of the whole situation, where you decided if everything goes wrong, you would have taken
that's what went through my mind. I don't know what you'd do.
Exactly. But I had certain guests here that actually passed through that situation. And there were always parts where they left notes to the situation. Imagine that situation happened to you. What would have been the last sentence to whoever you're leaving it to?
Sorry. That's it. Because there wouldn't be to just be sorry more than anything. Because with sometimes with one word, someone that loves you and understands you, if I had to go into that understanding of what we're discussing, which is a very delicate, I think it would have been enough, I think. Fuck private events. That's exactly, there was no moral boost, nothing. It was terrible.
You had a show. People walked out on you.
How the fuck, man? This I didn't tell you, look, da. Okay, look, let me tell you, I don't like what's happening here. Because this is deep. How the hell?
FBI shit.
Okay. Should wait, I hate this topic. Mela, this was after I had done my first or second, I think it was my first stand-up special, and the word of Malta's small, so that helps. I don't do private these things. I've done twice, one of which I don't regret, was really nice, but I love to host. If I had to host an event, I'd host 4 hours on end, hosting. A stand-up for a private event is very, very, very dodgy. Very questionable because you don't know who the audience is, you don't know who, if they're expecting you and all this stuff. What happened was, now it's different. Now I receive an email and I work as my own agent and I vet the questions, so now I know.
You write Kevin at the bottom, you write it around the name.
No, I write. No, but you know what I mean? I into that, the shoes of the... This happened, I can say who, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. It's not, anyway, there was a Christmas staff party for the Times. Back then, we're still with the paper. This is 2015-ish, 16. And someone I know very well reached out, hey, I gave this Christmas party, and we'd love you to come. I told my wife, and I have this thing, I joke.
It was your beginning, though.
This is beginning, I just done one stand-up, one special. And I told my wife, what I said, I said, Chen Puliman. By the way, my wife, I have this joke, tipo, Chichin, I said, mux tamlu? Okay, one hand namlu jina, mux inti but anyway, go for it, my love, this is fucking go for it. Okay, forget that I have to prepare a whole script, but anyway. So I said, I wasn't too sure. And
It was short notice.
a little bit-ish,
Okay.
but also I wasn't molded enough into it. I wasn't polished. So to just come up with scripts, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm a good scripter, okay, but, you know, it's still hard. So I remember asking a few questions, and I tried to make it hard. But every time I threw a certain figure, he kept on saying, okay. As in, he told me how much, and at that time I said, no, I have to quantify it. So I said, and I did this twice to another person who I know very well. He was on your podcast as well. You might know. And I said, and I threw a figure, which was way above the next of us. And Hanina, Ali, okay. Oh, panic. Okay.
You have to perform now.
Mux ekku. It was 25 minutes, which is a lot for comedy. So I asked him a few questions of who will be there, who the CEO is, and what are their likes and dislikes. So a little topic. No, the script was
so you go
relevant.
with personal in the
Just to know how I bounce off it, etc. Long story short, to tell you why people left, thank you very much. So I go there on the
Just to
day.
remind you.
It was not now, and it gets worse that day, by the way, so I'll
Yes.
tell you. Much worse. So I go, and there's people I know, etc. Ħat fucking ma jaf minin. A party, they know me as Kevin Naudi in advertising creative. So no one knew I was there. Except Veronica Grexant, who's a dear friend of mine, and the two people who fucking asked me. And I'm seeing a lot of people just walking around, and no fucking stools. So everyone was standing. Now you should never perform stand-up with people standing. It doesn't exist. Even high stools is a risk, because it's easy to get up, etc. Stand-up is for people sitting. It's the opposite. So I stand up, you sit. So there's a standing event. Oh, nħok rasi. And I went up to the guy who asked me, Matt, I said, listen. I said, no, it's all. I said, 5 minutes, you're on. I said, okay, cool. Oh. After 5 minutes, someone made this speech about the company. And now, how embarrassing, man. And now I'd like to introduce to Kevin Naudi. So there's no specific intro. Xġara. 200 guests, who by the way, these are printers, nis li kunu isfel you know, li pay proper sigaretti jirremblu that kind of, with no offense to anyone, but you got the gist. There was no intro, so they thought I was some motivational speaker guest, some sponsor. Naqbat il-mic, mux bitċaj.
Shit.
They're all in there till this. I'm going to play it for you, okay? Play it back. Thank you very much. So guys, as soon as I said, so guys, like this, just walking out. But not out of disrespect, people, they were so uninterested in this person. They just all, people, this was the point, and they just all, but our joke, max. I'm telling you, max, 17 people. It's just max 17. And I'm there with this mic coming from this success story of my... So that discomfort, again, like I always tell you, do you learn from it? Fuck yes. Because I learned that I went through it. I did 5 minutes, got my money's worth. Oh, it was very hard because you get the hole, you get the white thing on the side. I got the sweat thing, which I don't sweat much. And I was just choke. Now, to be fair, what you do, and what I try and teach, I guess, in my own right, is when there's less, I had to pick on the person that is laughing the most. It's such a small room, like I mentioned, people, the room of 10. So it was 17. They were laughing, don't get me wrong, but I picked on 2 people there, and they were laughing way too much, to be fair. It wasn't that funny. But so what I did was, you need to take control of the energy. And I learned this on the spot, because it's not like I've studied these things, but sometimes your gut takes over and your natural instincts take over, because we are born with natural instincts. And I said, okay, you know what? Fuck everyone else. Not only 200, fuck the other 15 people if need be. And there's my audience. And no lying, the only positive side of the story was that in the last 10 minutes, because I focused them, they were in fits. They made that person, not me. They were laughing because of them, because that's contagious. And the last 10 minutes was 70 people laughing like a good. So I left with a lot of mixed emotion. Nidħol fil-karozza u ma tistarti għalix minn bla petrol. Meta ngħidlek, the world you wanted to open and go, this is it, this is your fucking last day. And I would have gone, this is the right time. This is the right time. Inċempel kuġinu Michael Naudi. Mike, Allah, don't everyone left, man. Where were you? Allah, understand. Only had to stand up. That was for a private event. She's support Allah, bad. Do you know what moral support is? My way calling. Allah, my car's not starting. Jay Alik, ciao. That kind of relation, like a second. So then he just picked me up, went for a bit. So in the car like this, I was like this. I mean, yeah. Fuck private events. That's exactly, there was no moral boost, nothing. It was terrible, terrible.